Those were only words of warning, and the media sure wasn't asking those questions. The media sure didn't do its part in vetting candidate Obama, but now you have seen the proof yourself in President Obama. See, candidate Obama didn't have a record while in office, but President Obama certainly does, and that's why we're here today. Here's some proof of a failed policy, a failed economic policy, and proof of not having a plan in leading our country coming from our president. Earlier this summer, on one of the first legs of our One Nation bus tour, we stopped at a struggling business here in the Granite State, the Yankee Fishermen's Co-op in Seabrook. And there I heard firsthand yet another story of how these burdening federal regulations and high taxes are literally killing our small businesses and our jobs. The hardworking watermen and their families at that co-op, they weren't concerned about political labels and inside baseball political games that are played. They're concerned about massive government burdens that are choking their way of life. Their freedom to make a living on the water, as some of these families, like our own commercial fishing family, some of these families have been proudly doing this for generations, and they just want to fish and responsibly harvest a natural resource to provide for their families, but that's all under attack now. It's tragic. Like these fishermen, we patriots should not focus on petty political squabbles and media gain sound bites. The Tea Party has got to be focused on the broader, much more important goals of this movement. Replace Obama. And return power back to we the people and grow this movement without compromising principles. Friends, the needed reform away from the good old boy politics as usual, it falls greatly on the Tea Party's shoulders. Look how successful you have been. As much as the media would love to ignore the fact, it was Tea Party Americans who won the November 2010 election. It was you who sent that new governing class to Washington, D.C. Granted, the permanent political class tried to co-opt them, and there's ongoing challenges there, but it was the Tea Party movement that shifted the entire fiscal debate in Washington, D.C. And now we're seeing more and more folks realize the strength of this grassroots movement, and they're wanting to be involved. I say right on, better late than never, for some of these candidates especially, okay? You're converting them over. And you know why? Because you have truth and you have logic on your side. And when you have that on your side, you win. And you have the time-tested truths on your side, truths that we believe in. We believe that the government that governs least governs best. We believe that it's the Constitution that is the perfect blueprint towards making us a more perfect union. We believe that America's finest are men and women in uniform. You are a force for good in this country, and for that we don't apologize. We believe that we can't get out of debt by incurring more debt. And we're telling Washington, my kid is not your ATM. We believe that we are taxed enough already, and friends, we believe that freedom is a God-given right. Freedom is worth fighting for. Bottom line, I believe that God has shed his grace on thee, America, and we're not going to squander what it is that we've been blessed with. We need to grow this movement. We can grow this movement to restore power to we the people, because we have truth and we have logic on our side. And now we have this record of success. so let's grow. Let's convert more of them over. You've already withstood the wrath and the disdain and the lies from the media and the permanent political class looking down on us, mocking us, making things up about us, telling us to go to hell. You've already withstood that. We're still standing, right? You're here today, standing strong, committed to restoring all that's good about America. It's with a still spine that you are still standing. You're here today, standing tall because you know what is at stake, and it's our children's future that is at stake. So we refuse to retreat. We're not going to just sit back on the couch and throw stones from afar, maybe like Washington would just love for us to do, just kind of waiting for America to be transformed into something unrecognizable, just sort of going with the flow. Nah, it's like those Yankee fishermen. They watch where a fish is headed in the current. They know that only dead fish go with the flow. That's not us. Invite those candidates in who are bold enough to take on the tough challenges caused by an out-of-touch, out-of-control centralized government, and those who are humble enough to admit they need you and they've seen the light. They who are willing to confront the challenges that are resulting from Washington's failed policies and incompetent leadership. Namely, crony capitalism, because that is the root that grows our economic problems. That's what grows this unsustainable, immoral debt. It is what causes housing market that's gone in the tank with 30% of our mortgages underwater. And unemployment numbers so high that some parts of our country, they haven't seen these numbers since the depths of the Great Depression. Yes, our nation is at a tipping point. So let's invite candidates who'll repudiate the crony capitalism and the corporate welfare and the waste and the corrupt politics and the government bailouts for their buddies. We need to hear from them directly. We need to hear from those who can do more than just talk, because we tried that, didn't we, voters? Been there, done that, with a candidate who can just talk but doesn't have any kind of record of accomplishment and success, successfully reforming those things that are wrong. What we need is, we need people with a proven record of reform and who are willing to take on the tough challenges, to run into danger, if you will, not run away from it. We need a pro-growth agenda. We need a pro-growth agenda. I appreciate your encouragement. I do. Friends, we need that pro-growth agenda, one that is